So then this is the first time using the Osmo Pocket 3. First time using this new Cadence Match 15 foot Zero, CR10 Zero, which is the kind of lighter tip that they do. And also the first time that I've used a slider float on a river. So lots of firsts today. Already had a few casts, got things set up, and had a couple of roach out. So hopefully we can keep them going and get into dusk and catch a nice big one for you. So I'm on the Hampshire Avon. Just hear the woodpecker going there. It's normal height. I'm just on a little backwater, but it's about 10 foot deep, something like that, 10, 11 foot deep. So although I'm using a 15 foot rod, I am using a slider just to make it a bit easier to cast. Oh, I missed it. And because I've got some trees and stuff above me, so it just means that I can do a little gentle kind of underhand lob and almost pass it into the water. I'm probably fishing half a foot off the bottom, 6 inches maybe off the bottom. I was tripping along the bottom and I've just shallowed up a bit, and that got me my first bite, which quickly followed with another one, which was quite a nice fish. Got to be a £1+ roach, which is lovely. They do go £3+ here. And I did see one of the guys at a 2.2, I think, when I was coming up. So it'd be lovely to get a 2-pounder. Don't think I've ever had a 2-pound roach, so it's part of the reason why I joined this club water. Been doing a lot more river fishing recently. Just trying to learn new skills, you know. You kind of get stuck in your rut, don't you, sometimes? So just want to learn new stuff. As I say, I'm using the Cadence CR10. CR10 15-foot match rod. The finer tipped one is the CR10. I'm using a Abu Garcia 507 Mark II, which is the larger of the closed face. Got to be honest, it's a bit of a. It's not a stretch to get to there, but doesn't feel as comfortable in your hand as the smaller models. And I've got pretty big hands, if I do say so myself. So float-wise, I've got this Colmic 4-gram float, which has got like a little standoff at the bottom, and as I say, it's a slider, so the line goes through the top there, out the bottom, and then on that standoff bit just holds it away from the float stem. It's got interchangeable tips, which is quite cool. So I've got a yellow one on mine. That's a 4-gram one that I'm using, so I've got that set up with 4-gram inline Olivet. And I'm just using a couple of gripper stops either side of the Olivet just to hold it in position down the bottom. And beneath the Olivet, I've got a quick snap swivel. And then I am on Red Maggot, size 14, £3.8, hook length. Couple of little number 8 stons. I think they're stons, aren't they? Or these are cube shot. These are matrix cube shot, but they're the same thing as basically the stons. So those tiny little shots, which are a pain in the arse to put on. Much better to do at home. The one thing I would say is, if you are using them, get yourself one of these, which is just like a flat plier set of pliers from Preston, and because it's anodised blue, it costs twice as much as if it was a rusty metal, I imagine, but it's pretty cool. So here it is kind of in action. I'm going to say that just slides on the line. There's the foreground, Olivet, a couple of the stoppers, the interchangeable hook thingamajig, and the little stones there. Just two double red, or red and white maggot. And yeah, that's just sitting, you know, really close to the bottom of the hook. The float is really sitting really close, so it just makes just flicking it out there really easy. And then just using a standard kind of a standard kind of sliding float knot, just to stop the float from going all the way up. One thing I have done, like I say, it's the first time doing this on a river, and one thing I have done that I think I should have left a longer tag on the knot. Did leave a couple of inches, but I wish I'd kind of left 2.5 or 3, because it does sometimes catch in that top ring if I reel in too far. So that's probably what I'll change next time around. But not quite the depth. So just stopping it before. I mean, it's a 15-foot rod, so I've got, you know, a good couple of foot before I get to that knot, before it hits the top ring anyhow, so it's not the end of the world. So we've had a couple out. 3 roach in total. One just a small 3-4 ounces. One at £1.2, one at £1.4, which is lovely. Let's see if there are any other bigger ones now that we're getting to dusk, where the big girls come out to play. So here's the first, or the larger of the two, which is £1.36, and the other one is just over £1. So it just ekes another one out. Probably £0.75, something like that. But we know they're there still. How do I turn this off? There we go. We're getting to the point though where that float is getting very hard to see. Be interesting to see how this camera works out in this low light condition. So I've now put a starlight on my Bolo, which is kind of helping. Not the brightest starlight in a while, but certainly brighter than the float was, the float tip.